So I'm here in beautiful Death Valley, and we're at the Death Valley Noobs Rally. It's March, and we're going to go out and ride some of the best parts of Death Valley today. But before we do, the guys, the awesome dudes at Cyclops, our friends, are going to do a little work on the Ibex 450 because they have a full setup for it already, even though this bike just came out. So we're going to do turn signals, we're going to do aux lights, we're going to do the Skene P3 on the back, and kind of walk you through any trouble spots if you decide to get this set up for your Ibex, which I recommend because their stuff is high quality, made in America, and really will enhance your safety and visibility on the road. So I'm gonna let them show you how it's done. And the best part is the quality service, because they just install stuff for me. Now, if you buy from them, if you have anxiety about wiring like I do and have had, they offer great support so that you can just call them or email them directly. It's literally just Darryl and Brian. There's nobody else there. They'll walk you through it. They've done these installs 1,000 times. So that's the other thing you're getting with that price of their stuff, is that kind of personal touch, customer service. But let's get some stuff on this bike and then go ride. Darryl, what are we doing to the Ibex today?
All right, me and Brian are here. We're going to put a set of aux lights, our new Ibex aux light kits, and Tuff lights on the bike. We've got our Aurora DRL's high beam activated kit. We've got this bracket we made up that's gonna bolt right up underneath the beak. Super simple, just 2 bolts. We've got the light kit, which comes with your bike specific wiring harness. That's going to allow your factory high beam switch to turn on the aux lights. The DRLs on the lights will be on whenever you turn the key. With the kit, you get everything you're gonna need. The wiring harness.
That bracket comes with the kit?
Yeah, so we've got a couple different options. We've got the bracket for bikes that don't have crash bars, upper crash bars, or we've got the tube mounts for bikes that do have upper crash bars.
Great.
Here's an accessory dongle so you do not lose your positions. You might want to run GPSs, other devices off your accessory ports. So this allows you to do that, multiple devices off the same port.
I just love the word dongle. So easy, even a dork can do it.
So easy, even a dork.
Even though he never does. Look, if they offer to install, you say yes.
For sure. And then we've got the Tuff light kits. It's our blinker that's going to add a front running light and a rear running and brake light in an unbreakable blinker. So the Ibex, we've got plug and play in the rear. On the front, the connector is unobtainable so far. So we're offering 2 different options on how you hook up the front. One is a posi tap, which we'll go over, and we'll do that on your bike. So we're leaving the factory connectors installed and just adding to them without doing any soldering or cutting wires, that type of thing. The other option that comes in the kit, so you can choose which way you want to run it, is bullet connectors.
Yeah, also, you're going to hear some bike noise. Sorry, we're at a rally, so it is what it is.
We're looking forward to riding, so
yeah, we're going to get this done. Yeah, we are going to get this done.
You're helpfully filming again?
Hey, at least I won't be helpfully drinking because I have to go ride later. So it could be worse. So clean. Savor it, because it's never going to look like that again.
No, it only happens once.
What are you doing to my bike, Brian?
I am currently taking off this panel. So in order to gain access to the accessory plugs and the factory high beam connector, headlight connector, it's behind this panel. Right up in here, there's a little access hole that you can get to it. So to get to it, you got to take this panel off. If you have crash guards, you will have to basically loosen the entire crash guard up and just kind of let it hang. And that's the only way to get the fairing off. At least with the CFMOTO ones, you got to do that. I don't know about the Wangs or any of those guys. But
It's so hard to not make comments when you say things like full access to the rear.
a hidden Phillips up here.
Oh, so you would have broken it.
Yes.
That is good to know. Somebody's going to miss that.
Yeah.
I always just pull, and if it doesn't come out, I'm like, there's probably a fastener right here.
Got it. And there's another one in here.
We only have to take the one side off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we got to put the other turn.
Well, yeah, when we do the turn signal, I'll have to take that side off.
Okay, well. Never
We're
mind.
going to fight with
I'm
this for
gonna
a minute.
keep filming. This is gold.
This is gold. Okay, this is coming off because I can't get to it in any direction.
Well, easy on, easy off.
There you go.
Easy come, easy go.
All right, in the back, I'm going to go ahead and start taking this apart. You've got 4 Phillips head screws under the inner fender, and then 2 8mm bolts. So
It's nice and clean too. So.
yeah, you know, you can always give us these nice clean bikes.
This is the cleanest bike you've ever had of mine to work on, so.
Yes, it is.
But, you know, it's winter at home, so when I ride it, it gets my fender. You have offended me.
Beautiful.
Actually, you defendered me.
Defendered you.
You are a defenderer.
So we've got to remove this factory little plastic unit. And this is where the 2 holes where your light mount will go up into.
Convenient planning on their part.
Yep. And then that's where your factory crash bar mounts go to.
Sick.
So you bolt a thing to there and then they bolt to the side like that.
That will be an easy install then because I'm going to swap it. So I got crash bars coming when I get home. So we're going to see both versions on this bike. I wasn't going to do crash bars, but then I dropped it and the fairing definitely hits the ground. So, dramatic reveal.
I know, right? So here, you got to kind of grab this and pull. And there's 2.
Oh!
It literally feels like you're going to break it.
Uh-huh.
Here's the turn signal connector right here.
Okay, so it looks, that's good. So the turn signal is mounted to the fairing because it looks like you need to remove it first, but no. Okay.
You can't, so it's bolted backside.
All right, once you get all your bolts out, you'll get this thing dropped down, separate your inner and outer fender. This thing will just unpop. You can see there's a little clip down here that you don't need to really worry about right now. Then come up into here, you've got a nice little boot where all your wiring is. Dig that out. Push that wire up from the bottom so you have room to work. It's kind of tight. That zip tie that they provide has got a little clip on it so you can undo it.
Ooh, don't have to cut it off.
You don't have to cut it off. Okay,
watertight.
the wires we're mainly going to be messing around with are, that's one side of your blinker right there. Your green is going to be your ground. Your brown is going to be your positive. I don't know if that's left or right. And then when we go to the other side, we've got a green, which is the ground, and then a blue.
It's actually, blue is the right, this orange one is your left.
Oh, okay.
That's your tail
That's
light.
your tail light.
Or your license plate light. There's your brake light, tail light connector right there.
So we're going to go ahead and pop these guys loose. Okay, there, we've just undone both blinkers, and we'll go ahead and just pull those out. That'll make it much easier to work on.
Oh!
Just go ahead and pull it apart, get access to your bolts on your blinkers, and go ahead and remove those.
I got the factory, the left-hand turn signal. You release it from this little clip, and connected to your left-hand turn signal wires are these 2 female bullet connectors. This is your switched accessory power on the bike. So there is a green and a red. Green is ground on this bike. And so what we're gonna do, this is the relayed harness that comes with it. Your main power, here's your trigger wire, and these are your light leads. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go red to red. Okay, so that's connected. And then you wanna get up in here. There is a white connector up in there. That is your headlight connector. I will release that and get that out here because we need to connect this blue high beam trigger wire to the blue high beam wire at the connector.
That's confusing. Blue to blue? I don't get it.
Who would have thunked it? This process, I suggest getting a longer flathead screwdriver than this.
Do what he says, not what he does.
Yeah, exactly. It is not the easiest little thing to get to, but it is doable.
What are you doing, Darryl?
All right, I've just taken off the stock blinkers, and now I am getting ready to put the Tuff lights in their place. I'm going to disconnect the Positaps that we've just got for shipping. We do use these, but you've got to unhook them in order to install them so you can get left and right. There is a left and right to the blinker. You want to make sure that when you install them, you set them up so that you can read the logo, basically. I mean, if you put them in upside down, it's no big deal. It's still going to work just fine.
But you're going to hate it every time you see it.
Yeah,
It's going to drive you nuts. You get it yet, Brian?
No, Ben.
Maybe you need a longer flat blade screwdriver.
I'm going to go look for that.
You're my
This
favorite.
one, not this one.
You're my favorite tool. Holy crap nuggets.
Yeah.
Are we overcompensating with these pliers, or?
Yes. Okay, see? But look how successful I was.
Easy as that. You just needed 30-foot long pliers.
These are my pliers that I use to get into the RT headlights. Because RTs are super fun. So, here is your factory headlight connector. Green, ground. The browns have power anytime you turn the bike on, and your blue is your high beam circuit. And so what we want to do...
So how do you know that? Trial and error? You just look at the manual?
Yeah, trial and error.
Well, thanks for doing that for us.
Yeah. There was no manual at the time. So I do a lot of back probing with meters and back probing.
Sounds like you. We gotta leave them subtle though.
This is a posi tap.
Are you positive?
So this has a black end and a red end. You remove the black end, and notice on the black end there is a needle. That's a very pointy portion. So when you remove this black end, the black end is the part you want to slide over the wire you want to get power from. Slip it over the wire you want to tap into, and make sure you use the end with the piercing, because the other end is blunt. There is no piercing needle on that. So if you try to attach that to that, you will not get a good connection. And you'll be sad. Things won't work the way you'd expect them to work.
How'd you
take this?
Look at your own blue to blue.
Yeah, blue to blue. Look at that.
Man, it's almost like you planned that.
Right? So that goes in there. Get it around. That goes around the wires. Stranded wires go around that blunt stud in there, and then you just tighten everything down. And then you can swing. Like you could hang from that. It doesn't seem like it, but you can. Okay, so that's that connection. Now we got our dongle into the accessory power. And we're gonna take the ground to black. And it doesn't matter, all these are the same. There's no specific way.
Ground is ground, power's power.
Yep, the reds are hot, the grounds are ground. So you can connect it to whichever one you want. And now there's plenty of extra stuff. Like we're gonna connect your DRLs to one of these. The front running lights for the Tuff lights are going to go into one of these, and then you'll probably have a couple leftover ports for whatever, GPS or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and now I know where it is.
That's basically the install harness, and then I'm going to reconnect this back into the factory headlight connector, and then all this stuff is basically going to end up laying over here, up in this area, like the sole hidden.
Factories are LED, but look at how much bigger they are. They're just kind of big and obnoxious, and these are brighter anyway.
Yeah, I'll guarantee you they're not as brighter. You know, also what we're doing is we're adding running lights and brake lights.
Brake lights, cool.
Right here I'm putting on the Skene P3s to the factory license plate mounts. Then I'll run these wires right up through the same pathways as the factory wires up into the tail of the bike.
Okay, so this is our mount for this. It goes right in that same hole where we removed that factory plate, whatever that is for. So literally comes with the bolts, the spacers, all this stuff, and you just put it right back in.
Come here, buddy. We got our little helpful mascot. Are you helping? That's right. You're bringing the comic relief. That's your job.
All right, what I'm doing here is I'm just tidying up the wires a little bit.
Hey.
So we're also putting a Skene P3 on there. So what I've done is I've zip tied my left-hand wires together, so I know that that's the left side of the bike once I get all the wires up there.
You've done this before?
Well, a few times. There I've got my wire bundles. Now I can take this, shove it all back up under there, and I'm gonna know what side is what. There's a little, this is your license plate light, and that pops off these little posts here. Run all your wires underneath that. That's where the stock wires went, and then it just kind of presses back in there.
It's a nice feature.
Kind of cool, actually. So I've got all that ready to go. There it is. Now I can put my screws back in, and that'll be one unit.
Sweet.
Plug back into the bike. So I've mounted the lights to the bar, and it's just a single post 10mm bolt. So now we're just going to run all this stuff over to where the relayed harness and accessory wires.
Are we ready to crash test this today?
I guess.
Yeah.
We can.
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
It'll be a harder ride.
Yeah.
Hey, that is not helpful. Nope, you don't need to help him.
Hopefully barking. So just get this through here to the other side. There's no specific path, route, whatever, you know, suits your... Because People have all kinds of different things in different places, so just there's no specific way to do it. Just get it over there. Luckily, there's lots of bars under here to zip tie everything too. There's kind of nice. So you can
Well-designed machine.
It actually is. Here's the other light. So this single bullet connector, as we were talking earlier, can go to any of these red ones. This is for the daytime running light, the little ring that goes around the outside of the main light.
And because it comes off a switched power, it can be constant positive because it shuts it off at the source.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as soon as you turn the key on, the amber halos will come on.
Okay, I was wondering if you could do 2-in-1. You can. That's good.
Yep. Double female bolts. I just keep them together like that because they're the same thing.
And that's easy to find.
Here's the main light lead. This portion right here comes off the relay harness. This is what turns on the main center driving lights when you hit the high beam, which is triggered by the blue wire talked about earlier. And these are just Deutsch connectors, 2-position Deutsch connectors. Click them together.
Oh, that's all nice and watertight.
Yeah, these are very nice connectors. That's what we use for all of our main lights. So that's basically the aux light hookup right there. Now it's just, you got to nicely bundle all of your wiring with zip ties and whatnot. Keep them out of the way of your steering. Make sure you can go lock to lock. Nothing gets pulled, tugged on. It doesn't get in the way of your steering. You don't want it to get pinched.
Uh-oh, somebody's plugging stuff in back
We're
there.
actually getting to where we're plugging stuff back in. I guess the question is, are we going to go into the right wires?
I trust you.
You can kind of tell which wires are the running light wires are a little bit larger. So green to green, brown to brown. Brian, did you say orange was left?
Orange is to the left, correct.
Orange left, so I'm going to go into blue with the right, yellow in this case to blue, and black to the green. That's my blinker connections. I haven't got to the running light or brake light yet on the blinkers.
Yeah, this isn't taking too long at all. It's a pretty easy bike to work on in all actuality. Yeah, it's not hard. Yes.
Chewy. Stop. I know. I'm not on camera. Stop barking every time you're not on camera. We know you're here.
His sag stuff is wearing it out.
He's got to get 6 minutes or he doesn't get paid. Got to have so many speaking lines.
Hey, can you hold that right there for me for a quick second? I forgot my bolts.
I wondered about that. Yeah, you can bark at Jeremy, that's fine. Got her?
Yeah.
No, thank you. You guys doing installs at this rally or just kind of, you don't have any, you didn't bring stock?
No, we just did it. We had just some pain in the ass guy, need some help. So
Yeah.
we thought we'd give him a hand.
They took pity on me because they know if I try to make an install video, it'll be terrible and nobody will want to buy their stuff. Well, that guy screwed up 12 times.
But once you get it up there, once you get one of the bolts started, then you can just kind of work your way around it.
That light bar is clean too. It's like super minimal.
Yeah, it's very minimalistic. To get this factory turn signal connector out of here, right behind it there's a small tab. Just push that away and then pull up. And then it'll come out.
Oh, that's the holder. Okay.
Yep.
Like it.
Okay, Tuff light turn signals. Front ones, 3 wires. This is the white aux running light in the front. Turn signal positive is the red. Black is your ground. Chewy agrees.
Yeah. No, red. You're colorblind, dude. You don't know. So they're running a training class like literally right behind us. So sorry if it's hard to hear, but we're going to do our best. So this would be dead simple if you could get the OEM connectors, but it's like just regular simple without them.
Yeah, regular simple in this. So yeah, in the back it's all bullets, so that's very convenient. In the front they decided to use a different connector altogether, so
That's weird.
I'm not understanding that, but they can do whatever they want. They're their own company.
So is this
When
the
you're
right
installing these, yeah, there's a right side and a left side, depending on which way. You want the Cyclops letters obviously legible and upside, unless you like to read it while you're laying on the ground upside
Oh,
down.
which could happen.
Which could happen. So
Yeah.
put the right one on
Functionally,
the
it doesn't make a difference, but it looks stupid.
Yeah.
So you want to just pay attention to that. They'll still work, right. But you'll hate it every time you see it.
Yes. Hang your head in shame for a moment.
Bill, what does that say? Cyclops. Cyclops.
Sepulchsis.
Sepulsice.
Oh, dang
Yeah.
it.
Sepulsic.
And don't be me.
Sepulsic.
Yeah, Sepulsic. To make sure you take your nut off first before you put it through the
Jeez,
fan.
is this your first time?
today. What I'm going to show people is like orientation here. So you get your nut on the back. What you want to do, there's this small hole for the orientation for the factory turn signals. I just line up basically this arrow point right with that hole. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I do.
Love it. Well,
yeah. And only tighten this silver nut. Do not twist this to tighten it. You will mess your wires.
oh, you don't want to do that.
And this is a knurled shouldered nut. It will bite into the plastic,
Oh,
so you don't have to worry about it.
It's a lock nut.
Coming undone.
Knurled. That's almost as cool as dongle.
Okay, I've got the blinkers all tied in. Now I'm going to work on the running light and brake light for the Tuff lights. So my red wires are going to be the brake light. My blue wires are going to be the running lights. The brown wire is your power for the running lights. So I'm going to run both my blues from the Tuff lights to this brown wire via the Positap, and then I'm going to run my red wires together and run them to the brake light.
We are doing the Tuff light fronts set up now. This is to run the white accessory, or the white running light in the front. This is the wire that goes to each side, and it needs a switched power source. So if you didn't have our light kit, you would go to the red wire here at the ACC dongles, and you'd use the Positap, just connect right to it. Since we have the dongle, to make it easier, we're going to Positap right into this switch wire, because that's easy. So Positap that on. Lay that in there.
Now we know how to work those because you already showed us.
Yes. Okay, the CFMOTO kit, Tuff light kit, is going to come with, you have an option because finding that connector is very difficult.
Impossible.
So in the front. So impossible, yeah. So in the front, you're still going to use the bullet, but you're going to have a choice. The kit's going to come with either Positap or bullets. It's going to come with the bullets installed, but in order to use the bullets, you're going to have to cut off your factory connector and install female bullets on the factory side. Or your other choice is cut the bullets off of these wires and install Positaps on your factory wire. So the choice is kind of up to you.
And we include everything you're going to need either way you decide to go.
Yep. Ben has decided to go with the Positap
I
route.
just want to keep the factory in case there's a factory accessory I want to attach later on.
So, with that in mind,
Dude, right off that skid plate.
go like this.
Ugh. Oh, it hurts me. I just want to point out the training they're doing because, like, they've been at this for like an hour maybe, and they got them hopping this freaking 8-inch rock, which for out here, it's exactly the skill you need because you can't go around everything. You've got to go over stuff. So good for them. Good training. The Noobs Rally is really for new riders to come and learn, and it's a hell of a place to bring them. But there is easier riding out here. You just got to be careful.
So I'm going to install the Positap, the green with the white stripe right in this connector. That's going to be my brake light. So I'm going to run my red Tuff lights to that. I'm going to take the U channel of the Positap, work it down around that wire, and then I'm going to take the pointy end of the Positap and just screw that in.
Sorry.
Now I'm going to take the other end of the Positap and just unscrew it, run my wires through there.
You got both.
Yep, I've got both wires tied together. I have stuck them through the top cap. Stick them and just kind of shove them down in there. Then screw the top cap back on.
Fitting your plastics back on. So we got all the connections done here. Positap wires into the Positaps. Folded the wire back up. This side is basically done. Now I'm working everything over that way. I'm going to secure all the wires going along this way because all the main connections are over here.
All right, there I've got my brake light connection made to the green wire with the white stripe. I've got my running light connection made to the brown wire. So blue to brown, red to green with a white stripe. And Tuff light should be done. You're gonna need to swap out your stock flasher, which is right here, and replace it with the Cyclops LED flasher.
No.
So ours is definitely bigger, but it's required to get the LED blinkers to work correctly.
Hyper flash, or do they not work at all?
Yeah, you'll get hyper flash.
The disco.
Plug it back in, and we've got a little bit of dual lock back here with a self sticky. Just take and work that right back where that stock one was, and run the wires. Press that on, and you are good to go.
Wonderful.
Running lights, brake lights. Okay, right blinker, left blinker, no hyper flash.
Gorgeous.
Fantastic.
Hit that brake again, will you? See the extra brake lights, nice.
Push your boot and all your goodies up in there and retighten that. We're going to do another step here on adding a P3, but that essentially is the install of the Tuff lights. We're also going to add a P3 TS, which is stands for turn signal, the TS part. Normally I would have done this all at the same time, but since we were doing the video, we wanted to do the Tuff lights separately, so I'll treat it a little different. I'm going to place this guy right underneath this bar here, so it looks like it's going to be great out of the way. Wires are pointing down, which I like, and then I'm going to put a couple zip ties around there, run this up underneath the tool bag, and then make all my connections back here.
Look at that. He's got it all with service. Putting my fender back on. Oh, sort of.
Initially, you turn the bike on. You have a running light on your turn signals and this amber halo on your main aux lights here. Anytime you go to high beam, automatically the center driving lights will come on.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you get all that extra light. You get conspicuency when you're in low beam. You're not blinding anybody, not making anybody mad. Anytime you go to high beam, you get the light that you want.
It's very bright, yes.
Yes, very bright. So then turn signals, you get your white running light in the front, and then anytime you turn in a direction, they'll turn amber and flash along as they should.
That's so much visibility.
Yes, yes, sir. We want to be seen out there because bikes have a very small footprint.
Yeah, people tend to miss them.
The bigger you can make it, the more annoying, the happier you'll be.
Right.
In the long run.
They can see you.
So in the back here, what we've done, you can see here's our Tuff lights. They have a running light, and these are our Skene P3 lights. They have a conspicuency flicker. It might look crazy on the camera.
It's actually like way more consistent on the camera. It's
Is it?
interesting. But it's not, because in the camera it looks like it's kind of fluctuating. It's not. It's a constant flicker. You can't help but look at it.
The further away you get, they get steady. The closer you get, the more flickery and annoying it gets. It's to keep people off your hind end, which you want. Because
you can turn that off. A lot of people don't like that,
but you can turn it off.
I like it.
You can turn it off. I love it, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've effectively taken your footprint in the back from this little area to now this big of an area. People can see you much better this way.
Yeah.
And then same thing, you hit the turn signals, you get turn signal flash. These ones are the turn signal version, they'll flash along.
I really like that.
With your turn signals.
Really hard to miss.
And you hit the brakes, you get a very conspicuous flashing pattern.
And the turn signals.
And
Notice
the turn
that they are brake
signals.
lights as well.
Yes.
That's something.
The best part about the Tuff lights, you're not going to be buying new signals.
Yes.
No.
These
Put
can
time to fall
bend
down.
all the ways.
Yep, we were beating them with a bat at Turatech last year.
So yeah, there we go, the CFMOTO kit.
Beautiful.
Ready to roll.
Thanks, fellas. And I'll put links to all this in the description. Do you, people keep asking about what things cost, so do you have a rough idea what each of these things cost?
The Tuff lights are around $225, I believe.
pair.
The Skene P3 system, what we did on your bike is the P3 TS. TS standing for turn signal. That comes in at about $169, $179. The Ibex aux light kit is what, about $350?
It's $320 for the base kit. The mount, that's the two mounts are another $50. The mounts $50 more, so it's about $350.
So you're probably that's probably around $375 or so for the auroras with whatever mount you choose and the plug and play harness and all that.
But you can't put a price on safety.
No, you can't.
Actually, you can. It's $375. So what's your warranty?
Most of the stuff you see here is 5 years. The aux lights are 5 years. The Skene stuff's 5 years. Right now the Tuff lights, I think we've got a 2-year warranty on those, but I think we're going to raise that to 5 years as well.
Nice, not bad. Well, thanks, fellas. That's awesome. And, like I said, I'll put links to all this in the description. And if you are anxious or apprehensive about doing electrical like I am, they won't necessarily come to your house and install it. But you can call and talk to these guys on the phone. Brian was saying he'll do like a video chat sometimes just to see even what the issue is. So they can walk you through those questions you have. They've done this 1,000 times. So, that's what's great. It's a small company. It's these guys. They make most of their stuff in the U.S., and they stand behind their products. So, love working with these guys. Check out the website. I'll link it for you. Use promo code Dork on the road. Save yourself 10%. And thanks again to both of you. But for now and as always, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. And please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Oh, thank you.
Let's ride.
Yeah.
That's right.